Ford may still be hiding a big secret about its all-electric F-150 truck, and my heart can't take the suspense. Forbes contributor Tom Moloughney, who broke this story this week, will be here to whisper the secret into my ear. Plus, in other electric car news, Karma catches up with Nikola Motors founder, 3 battery breakthroughs, Toyota's Olympic ad wins gold in deception, and ChatMO, no more. I'm very clever. All of this is coming up next. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the world of electric cars. Our top story is my heart and why Ford keeps playing with it like a first Match.com date. I'll explain. When the electric F-150 Lightning was unveiled a couple of months ago, it was a big hit, especially at the starting price of around $40,000 before the incentives and closer to $30,000 after. How can it be so cheap? Well, I can only assume they are anticipating some really strong sales from their gasoline-scented fragrance, which, by the way, is a real Ford product. I'm not lying to you, this is not a joke. If you've been watching my channel long enough, you know my sense of humor is not that good. Ford says that this week total reservation number has crossed 120,000. That's like a sold-out Beyonce concert. And if you think about it, a typical F-150 Lightning reservation holder does have something in common with Beyonce herself. They are crazy in love. The only disappointing thing one could find is that the range with the bigger battery option is just 300 miles. Now, if it was a car, it'd be fine, but for a truck that can lose up to half of that range to hauling and off-roading, those are the things that you're supposed to do with a truck, all of a sudden you may end up with a range of an e-bike, and that's not enough. But then Marques Brownlee got a hold of a truck and noticed that the estimated range on one of the screens was way over 400 miles when fully charged. He also mentioned that he was told by Ford that the EPA range was estimated with 1,000 pounds of payload. So I ran to Ford and I was like, hey guys, when you said 300 miles of range, did you mean like 300 and then another half of that? And they were like, hey, look, what's that? Oh, that's our press release. You should go and read it. We have nothing to add. And I was like, okay, well, what about the payload? Is the EPA range calculated with a payload? And they're like, who estimates the EPA range with a payload? That would be crazy. And I was like, yeah, that would be crazy. Crazy in love. So I didn't really get a straight answer, but they did send me a bottle of one of those gasoline-scented fragrances, which once again is absolutely a real thing. I didn't really get it yet, but I think it's already working because I'm already getting a headache. Now back to the story that did not end there at all, because Tom Moloughney has gotten a hold of another F-150 Lightning prototype, and even though Ford has removed all of the range indicators from the main UI, that did not fool Tom, because when left unsupervised, Tom will push all kinds of buttons, and that's what we call an investigative journalism. So he got to essentially the same screen as Marques did, and guess what he saw? A new fart app. All right, maybe not, but something even better than that. A 472-mile range on a full charge, which is essentially the same range that Marques saw if you calculate the state of charge of that first truck. But my heart cannot take this. Is it 300? Is it 400? Is it more? Luckily for my heart, I can plug my shock paddles directly into the conveniently located outlet in the F-150 Lightning. But I still have so many questions. 1, what is the actual range? 2, why the secret, Ford? Stop playing games with my heart. I think there's a song about that. And 3, when is the bottle of the gasoline fragrance arriving at my house? I have a Match.com dates to go on, you know. Luckily, at least 2 of those questions can be answered by the Forbes contributor and the host of his own State of Charge YouTube channel, and most importantly, the Day 1 F-150 Lightning reservation holder, Tom Moloughney. But before that, a quick reminder that this video is brought to you by the Volkswagen ID4 EV, which I am now a proud owner of. One of the cool features in the ID4 is the enhanced voice command system. I can do a lot of things in my car using my voice, including opening the shade of the beautiful panoramic optional roof without taking my hands off the wheel. See if you love the ID4 as much as I do by exploring the link in the description of this video. All right, Tom. Well, first of all, kudos for breaking not just 1 but 2 stories this week, but let's talk about Ford. What do you think about the actual number? I know we're getting different information from different sources. You're one of them, but what do you think this number really means?
So, do I think that Ford's going to bring this truck to market and it's going to have 472 miles of real EPA range? No, definitely not. That's not going to happen as far as what I believe. But it is odd that both Brownlee and I have totally different trucks, and they both showed over 400 miles of range when fully charged. So, there's a lot of excuses for that. There could have been just beta software. Ford could have driven it super lightly. I don't think that's the case. But there's something here, I think, something that we don't know. Could Ford be making a bigger battery pack or something? We'll find out at some point, but it's definitely interesting.
Well, but why play this game with us? Because I don't know about you, but I have not seen a brand play this game unless the range is much more disappointing. But this is kind of the other way around. What's going on with this?
Yeah, I don't really see it as a game. They've been saying all along, look, 230 for the standard pack, 300 for the extended range. That's our EPA goals. When they say goals, they could do better, they could do worse. We don't really know what's going on here. Ford might not even actually know exactly what the production version is going to come in at. I mean, I think by now they have a very good idea. But I think they're playing it smart. I think they're going to end up coming in a little bit higher than what they projected. It's always good to underpromise and overdeliver, Alex.
And so, but where is this number coming from? Do you think this is hard-coded somewhere in a truck? I know you have a theory about a third battery. What are your thoughts?
Could be a lot of things. So, what we had talked about, it's possible that maybe Ford has another battery pack that they're not talking about yet, that they're going to offer at some point in the future, a larger battery pack that has over 400 miles of range. Maybe these vehicles are outfitted with that. We don't know. Could just be beta software that, the vehicle just defaults to 472 miles of range, and because they're using it for testing now, it really doesn't matter what it says. Remember, they removed all of the range estimators from the visible screens. Brownlee and I had to go into the settings and really fiddle through a bunch of screens to find where it said that. So, that leaves open the possibility that this could be the product of a lot of different things.
All right, now you're a reservation holder, and it looks like you genuinely want to get this truck when it's out. Let's say it is 230 and 300 miles of EPA range. And I know you're gonna use that truck like a man. Doing a lot of construction and hauling. Do you think this might be a little bit disappointing, especially for people who are going to have the payload and whole other stuff behind it?
So, there's so many different uses for pickup trucks, Alex. This will, in my opinion, even if it came in at 230 and 300, it would solve or serve the needs of such a large percentage of potential pickup truck holders. Would it serve everyone's needs? No, absolutely not. If this is used for heavy-duty construction sites where they're towing 5,000, 8,000 pounds, 200, 300 miles at a time, it might not be the best truck for them, but that's okay. It doesn't have to work for everybody. We sell millions of pickup trucks in the U.S. per year. If this only serves 10 or 20% of the potential customers' needs, it would be a smashing success. Right out of the box, 230 and 300, I think if the EPA range rating was right in that wheelhouse, I think it would serve a lot of people just fine, and Ford would sell as many of them as they could make.
For more of the investigative journalism, but mainly the home charger and electric car range reviews, visit Tom's channel. Don't forget to subscribe to it as well. I put the link to it in the description of this video. Moving on, let's play a game. Who am I? Hello, honey? Yeah, I'm running a little late. Yeah, just getting charged. I'll be on my way soon. If you guessed me, you would be wrong. Joke's on you, because I don't even have a girlfriend at this point anymore. Oh, the answer. The answer is Nikola Motors founder and former CEO Trevor Milton. Earlier this month, he was getting charged with 3 counts of criminal fraud for misleading everyone about company's products, technology, and future sales, including, and I kid you not, pushing the truck down the hill so on video it would look like it was actually moving under its own force. He was doing a pretty good job lying to everyone until he got exposed by the Nikola short seller Hindenburg Research. But here's the sad part. You can certainly mislead most of us in the media, especially someone like me who's rooting for every new electric technology that has a potential to move us forward. I mean, what do I know? I can't even figure out the Ford F-150 Lightning's range, and I smell like gasoline, so... But how did he manage to fool the big investors into taking the company public and then later General Motors into a pretty rare partnership where both require so much due diligence? Did any of them check under the hood to see if there was anything there? I guess the answer is no contest, Your Honor. Speaking of getting charged, this time in a good way, there were 3 separate battery technology breakthrough claims this week, so let's talk about them. GAC, a Chinese automaker, claims a new 8-minute recharge technology for their sub-brand Aeon, just 8 minutes from 0 to 80% charge. Since this is a Chinese manufacturer that does not have much of a web presence outside of China, we'll just have to wait and see if they pull it off or pull a Trevor Milton on us. The second breakthrough was announced by QuantumScape, which is heavily invested by the Volkswagen Group, but also a publicly traded company. They revealed a 10-layer solid-state battery tech, which has advanced to testing, a good sign that it may actually be viable as a mass-produced product. Just in February, they had produced a 4-layer cells, and now they are at 10. And when it comes to solid-state batteries, you know, it's just like a chocolate cake. The more layers it's got, the more energy it's going to store. My energy goes to my thighs. Lastly, China's largest battery manufacturer, CATL, unveiled its first-generation sodium-ion battery. It can be charged up to 80% in just 15 minutes at room temperatures. Compared to lithium-ion batteries, sodium-ion batteries do not contain cobalt or nickel, but can be produced at a very comparable price. But its biggest advantage is the performance in the cooler temperatures. Hello, Norway. If you've been watching the Olympics, I know I have. I mean, the beach volleyball is not going to watch itself. You've probably noticed this Toyota commercial. It is featuring the electric LQ concept, which Toyota will probably not going to make anytime soon, but the intention is to make you believe that they are going electric, self-driving, and just cutting edge, which you wouldn't notice if you knew how much they continue to lobby the Congress and the Biden administration to slow down the plan for the EV adoption. And an interesting side note, Toyota has actually pulled its Olympic TV ads in Japan because it did not want a backlash for supporting the games during the pandemic. Yes, Toyota, we don't want people thinking that you're in favor of hurting people with the virus, but the emission gases, those are fine. Here's another story that Tom Moloughney broke this week. This time he made his discovery by reading a 50-page Electrify America Charging Network report. I'm assuming he ran out of Ambien. But what he found before falling asleep was that Electrify America will stop installing the CHAdeMO chargers next year. Now, the ones that are already installed will stay, they just won't build new ones with an exception of California where it is required by CARB. If you don't know what CHAdeMO is, that just means that you have never owned the piece of fabulous technology that is a Nissan Leaf, pretty much the only EV that still uses it. Though Nissan has announced that the upcoming Ariya will be switched to the much more widely accepted CCS standard. In that report, Electrify America said that only about 7% of their usage is from CHAdeMO connections, which is still significant. So in short, CHAdeMO is starting to phase out by Electrify America and Nissan, so let me know in the comment section if you're going to miss it. And if you're going to miss me once this video is over, all you have to do is click on that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss my future videos, or become a premium member to help provide for food and shelter to this adorable YouTuber. Alright, looking forward to all of your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.